So this video is going to show you how to create a gear train by following the worksheet that was handed out. First, let's just start by looking at your worksheet here. Basically, you need to make a gear train that has multiple gears and so on. I'm not going to go through the whole sheet, but this is what our gear train is going to look like. These are all going to be spur gears. I had said in the worksheet that you want it to be a 20 diametral pitch. So make sure you follow that. And let's go back to our part studio. Well, before I do that, let's look at this right here. This is telling us how far the center to center distance is. So assuming you calculated that right, the first thing you're going to want to do is let's start on the front plane. And I'm going to just create basically like a master sketch of sorts that'll show where the gears are. And this I'm going to assume is the origin will be the center of my driver gear. And I'm just going to go over there. If I hit the L tool, it'll get me another line. And that's roughly what my gear train looks like. If you look at this, right, it looks like a triangle and then that line. Our centers are 1.5 and 2. It really is, oops. Happened to catch the work plane or origin plane when I did that. There we go. And now we have a fully constrained sketch. The gear centers are going to be on the ends of these points. I just said make this symmetric, which is fine. That's the end of that. Now, ideally what you're going to do is create a shape that, well, here, something similar to, this is my sample one, right? So you could make it so that your gears get placed into a funky shape. That's something I would like you to do. But for now, just for simplicity, I'm going to just, let's also just draw a rectangle on which you'll place your gears and you'll have holes. Because I know you can figure out how to do that part. I'm going to give holes to, I have to turn on my sketch again. And let's just put holes at each one of these points. And these holes, you'll have to make them specified the diameter that we're using in class. Let's just make them, I don't know, let's leave them at 0.2 for now. And you want them to be through holes. All right. Let's just call this back plate. It's always a good idea to name your parts. All right. So now to bring in gears, you need to first make sure you have the spur gear feature script. And sure, it looks like this one. If you don't have it, you can come down here to add custom features and then type in spur gear and add that. But so now here's where, this is the window that creates the spur gear right here. My driving gear, is 40 teeth. But now the important part here is that we're going off a diametral pitch. And this is not something we're going to change because the number of teeth will change that for us. I do want to say select origin position, and I'm going to put it right there. And I don't know, the extrude depth will also be something that we'll set in class depending on how we're going to make these parts. So there's our first gear. You notice I didn't put a bore in there. That's because I want you to come through and put a bore in. The bore is the center hole. That's going to depend on how we're assembling this as well, which could change. I also don't love that my gears are in my back plate, so I'm actually going to come through and flip this direction. And then, of course, my holes got messed up here, so I'm going to flip the holes. Okay. And so now the gear is attached to that hole, and something seems a little off here. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. My next two gears are only 20 teeth, so I'm going to hit the spur gear again. 20 teeth, and unfortunately this time you have to change it back to diametral pitch. select origin position. I'm going to pick there. And I guess it's okay. This time I'm going to do the same here. But I'm also going to tell it to put a center bore in, which is basically the center hole. I just want to show you how to do that. If you want a keyway, which actually gives you a squared off hole, you can change that, but I'm not going to do that right now. Again, that's going to just depend on our project specifics. Right now, I just want you to see how to add the gears. And somehow they are perfectly lining up with my gears. Maybe that's because I have perfect increments of gears that we picked. I'm going to say origin position here. Oh, because I missed this here. There we go. All right, now I would say rename all these. You can call this driver, and I would even say 40 teeth, and so on. Go down the list and add the number of teeth. Now here, if you want to adjust so that it doesn't look like the teeth are hitting each other, what you can do here. I have to create mate constraints first. One moment. Okay, I was just saying that we're going to fix this next, but that doesn't happen until we actually assemble the gears. So that's how you create these parts or these gears in Part Studio. The next thing would be to create an assembly. Let's put that in another video.